meant? Yes.
We are live.
We are live. This is one more conversation that matters. There are series that we've been doing for a while, between seasons, so to speak.
And we are the Wisdom Factory.
We are the Wisdom Factory? You
I
probably
am.
thought I wasn't going to say that.
Yes,
Yes,
and I'm
okay.
Heidi.
And I'm Mark. Hello. And we're coming to you on Monday this week because of the holidays rather than our usual Fridays when you can usually catch us. Because yeah, schedules get a little bit cabalic during the season. But this is Conversations That Matter, and this week we have another conversation with a guest who's been with us a couple times before. That's Jessica Romisher, and she is a most accomplished pianist, and she has another wrinkle. She works with other people even if they don't know how to play, and makes wonderful music. And just fantastic. And this is just it's a wonderful idea, I think, for the holiday season when everybody has some kind of feeling about music, and we start thinking about children. And this particular session we're calling Connection with Innocence and Wonder. So it's very appropriate that Jessica is here for this show of ours. And we want you to know that we will be starting a new season shortly, and there is a link for that. It's going to be about relationships. We've had a little joke going between us. Should we call it relationship or relationships? Okay, well, we've decided most relationships have some of the other too, but that's part of what we're working on. There is a bit.ly link at the top of your screen where you can go to the registration page for that new series, bit.ly/WF-3.
WF with big letters.
Big letters, yes. Well, that should be clear there. But anyway, and after the show, I'll be bowing out at some point soon because I'm not the musician. You don't need to hear me at all during this the body of this show. But after the show, I will return when we have a blab about what time?
8:10. It
About
will be a
8:10.
blab, and
Should be
the link is on the event page.
And don't miss
I
it
will.
because Heidi will sing.
I will sing also here something.
Yes. Well, I want to entice them to come to the blab, though.
Yes,
for
there
more,
will be more
for
people
more.
to sing, hopefully.
Yes, indeed.
As I have a commitment
Mhm.
to sing during these days. I begin 23rd of December to sing for the peace in the world, to heighten the vibrations of the world by music. And this is part of what we are doing here today.
Yeah.
And now I give over to you, Jessica, and you talk a little bit about yourself and what your intentions are, what you are doing with the music you are doing.
Well, thanks, Heidi and Mark. And I mean, I'm just delighted to be back here with you. And I think what I'll do just to, as a way of introduction, is to actually respond to something that Mark just said, which he said, well, he was going to bow out because he didn't really know anything about music. And that doesn't mean you have to stay, Mark. However, my experience actually is that that's never true. So, you know, when they say that music is a universal language, having taught and performed and experienced it firsthand myself in so many different ways, people often say, well, I can't play, or I was told that I was tone deaf, or I was told that I didn't have a musical bone in my body. It's never ever true, and people just, you feel it in yourself, so it's intrinsic, and that's why I do appreciate speaking with you about it, Heidi, and also at this time when we're really trying to, I think, as you said, that our intention is to just inspire people in ways that allow a kind of healing to take place.
Yeah, there was just a problem with the microphone. I hope that didn't come over.
With my microphone?
Yes. it was like we had in the rehearsal for a little moment. Maybe
Oh,
you go in the settings and see which one is on and change.
okay.
No, now it's
Let's
good.
see. Is that okay? Maybe I'm talking
This
too
is
loud.
good. Maybe you do.
I might be talking too loud. I can
Uh,
talk more softly. I get very excited. That's the problem.
okay. No, it's okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. I completely agree with you because in my work with people, I teach them singing, and so many people don't come because they think and they say to me, I have no voice, I cannot sing. And exactly what is not true. And the few people who had the courage to come, I could show them that they could sing and that they had a voice. But
Right.
normally people back away because they say, oh, that was a thing. I did a workshop and it's about discovering the voice. And some people said, I come only if I don't have to sing.
Mm.
And then I did it in a way that they sang without noticing that they sang.
Mm-hmm. Isn't
And
that's
they
amazing?
lost
That's
the
exactly
fear.
what I mean. Exactly.
And
Well,
we
I
have,
think you and I think we should just start with either you're singing something or my playing something, one or the other. You know, I always feel that it says more than words can ever say. So
yeah, I think I have sung all these days already, so I think we start with you having to say to the listeners that the audio is still not really perfect. We are trying since weeks to get a better audio going, but you know, it will work, but it is not like the real sound of a big piano as Jessica has. But
yes.
you will see and feel the atmosphere and the energy with which she is playing. So go ahead.
Thank you, Heidi. And yes, and I would preface this by saying that, you know, I don't know how the audio quality will come through, as you were just saying. However, if people just simply watch my hands, then you'll be able to tell what the quality of the live sound is so that the visual will convey it. And, you know, this is part of what we'll talk about today. So
Yeah.
here we go. I'm going to actually play a little bit of Amazing Grace.
Oh, good. And remember to go in studio.
Right, there we go. Thanks for that reminder. All right. Let me just adjust this.
Yeah, this was the piano music. And for the time Jessica is coming, I would like to talk about the wonder and the innocence and about the way you could see she is playing. It is a way of listening. Jessica is listening while she is playing. She's not just playing, pa-bum, 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 oh, how great am I, how good am I, and I show you what I can. What many people do in music. But it is going into the music, into feel it into their own body, and let it arrive in the moment.
What was your experience, Heidi, as a singer, as you were listening to the quality of the sound? What was your feeling as you were listening to the quality of the sound? As somebody who sings,
yeah, it was definitely for me very low. I could hardly hear it. So we will study to get it better in the future, because we want to do a weekly meeting with music. Not long, not like today, Wisdom Factory episode 50 minutes or something, no, but just 20 minutes talking about a little aspect of music and playing music. But until then, we need to find out how that works. I found out that with the voice, more or less, it works when I have my microphone going into the other direction. So I would like to sing to you a song, which is still a Christmas song. We are still in the area of Christmas. And it says, Dear Nightingale, awake. Liebe Nachtigall, wach auf, du schönes Vögelein, auf jenem grünen Zweigelein, wach hurtig und verschnauf, dem Kindelein, außer Koren heut geboren, halb erfroren, sing, 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 dem zarten Kindelein. So it's the request to the nightingale to sing for this little child, which is almost frozen, and to bring it into life evermore. And it is born just now. It was chosen to be in this world.
It's beautiful, because the word sing is repeated. Sing, 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 right? And like each time, this is where you feel the magic of music, is when like each time you sing it, it's like beckoning, calling, to sing. Imagine now there are these beautiful birds as we're speaking there. There's beautiful birds sitting outside eating the seed that I gave to them because it's getting colder. So, if I was going to sing like you were just singing, Heidi, to sing, you feel, right, that call. And each note is different. If it was just sing, 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 then you would think, oh, there's no sense that you're calling to anything. But as you're singing, as you're actually singing, you're singing to the nightingale to beckon it to call. And when music begins to feel alive, it's because, in this case, the words, because you feel that there's something that's actually being expressed.
Yeah, exactly. And what I wanted to say, the nightingale was also always connected with singing, with a song. The symbol of singing and bringing a message into the world, and a positive message into the world,
Yes.
And we can try to sing like a nightingale. Oh, it is night here. It's not yet night in your place, but here it is night.
Yes.
So the title is Contacting Innocence and Wonder. The power of music, making music together. Unfortunately, we cannot do music here together because of the lag. It doesn't work yet. We have to wait some other year until it will be possible.
Yes.
But I still can feel the power of music. And as you said, when I say sing, 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 I sort of can, by the melody goes up, and it gives more emphasis on it. But I can give more emphasis by my voice, by the accentuation with how I sing, but also by my expression. And this is wonderful that we have here the possibility that people can see the body language, because often you are wondering why music is a little bit, stiff. And then when you see the people, they are like, and it was once the ideal of classical music to be very, contained, not to move. This has a little bit changed, fortunately, because when we want to give out the message through music, if there are words or not, that's not really so important. It must go through our own being to become our message. Otherwise, it's a message we read out of a book.
Well, it's interesting, Heidi, because whenever I talk to my students about this and I speak to them about interpretation, I always ask them to imagine that they were a fly on the wall when Beethoven was composing one of his sonatas, or a little dormouse when Mozart was composing one of his sonatas. And you see, none of this is rigid, none of this music actually is rigid. And when you play it, you can play it as if you are yourself writing it. That's a little bit of a unorthodox thing to say, but I actually think that when that happens, then you know that you're encountering in yourself the same place from which that music was composed in the first place. So there's a creative source. There was a source in Beethoven. He was a living, breathing man, right? Who was creating the greatest music, some of the greatest music, that humankind has ever created. But he was there at the piano trying to hear, because in his late life he was deaf. He went deaf. And he was trying to hear, and he was trying to hear, and there his fingers were on the keys trying to play, to hear the melodies and the chords and the harmonies that were in his head. All right, so that was happening in real time. And that music now is on a sheet, of notes that we read. But it's not fixed, It was never fixed, and it will never be fixed. It's just that that's our guide to
it
playing
is a
what
guide,
came to him.
a sort of a blueprint, a very lovely blueprint, because it's very elaborate. And not everybody of us is Beethoven or Mozart. I'm certainly not. And when I do improvisations, they are far away from what a Mozart can be or a Beethoven. But when we sing Mozart or play and Beethoven, and we do it in the way as you describe, we make it our own, give our own interpretation, not only the mental interpretation, here is loud and here is not so loud and here is crescendo and here is an interval and whatever. This is important too. But if we give them our emotional, and it's not only emotional, it is the whole physical structure of ourselves, then it becomes our music, which, it's not really our music. We don't have ownership, but right. we add something which is ours. And another person who is playing or singing the same thing adds something else, and it's different. We are, let's say, the creators on a higher level, but only in the sense of the music sheet. The music sheet is underneath, and we are. Our creativity is going parallel.
Could I maybe give an example, Heidi? We could try, and yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, you want to?
I'm going to try. I'm going to turn the piano up a little bit, so maybe it'll be a little bit clearer. How does that sound?
I hope so.
Yeah, let's try it. What the heck?
In studio mode?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right. I'll make this slow. Okay. How's the sound there?
You can a little bit more.
Okay. Is that better?
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is Bach, just a little bit of Bach. So I'll put the speakers in, headphones in. So this, as you may have recognized, is a minuet from a notebook that Bach wrote for his wife, who he blessed with a whole number of extraordinary little pieces for her to learn how to play the piano. And it's called the Anna Magdalena Notebook. And most children who learn how to play classical music play some of those pieces. And if you imagined Bach creating these little pieces for his beloved wife, who bore him something like somewhere between 12 and 14 children, and there he was creating this piece of music for her to enjoy as she herself was learning. And when I play that melody, it's such a beloved melody, you know. That could you hear it, Heidi? Was it clear at all?
Yeah, it was still low, but we could hear it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, at least we're on the track, on the journey.
What you could clearly see is your wonder in the music. You really could express it. You know, words are not really very adept to say that what it is. It is this little hesitation and then going on, and
right.
You know, this is so tiny, the interpretative tools. But as you play it, they are not tools anymore. You know, they are
right.
tools in the moment when people study the music. Then they have certain tools how to do it.
Right.
And then when you perform it, when you have made it your own, you don't think so much about it anymore. It comes naturally. And I think this is what makes professionality. When it is really absorbed, the music become yours, and then you give it out as yours. And I think you could really, really, really sense it in how you did that.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful what you're saying, because you see, it is true that you almost are breathing the music, like you inhale the music. And maybe I chose to play that because I love that melody so much, and then I give it back out. So I'm inhaling the beauty of the music, and it's like a fragrance, you know? Like when you were singing the Nightingale song, right? And you chose that song because something about it is natural to you, and to, you know, something that you naturally love. So often, you know, I teach on Skype, and I coach on Skype, and I coach people. And I often will say to them, let's find the piece that you love, that we will work on, and it's the love of that sound that is going to carry you to learn it. So this is a very organic way of learning something.
Absolutely. And
you
not
know,
having to study,
yes.
Not have to, but want to.
Yeah, because you love it. Exactly. It's beautiful.
Yeah. You know why I do that with the Christmas songs? As I said, every day, many of them are already on my YouTube channel and on Blab. And as Mark said before, afterwards we will be on Blab, and hopefully other people come to sing our Christmas songs from our nations. For me, it's really, you know, I was born with that, let's say. Every
Yes.
Christmas we sang the songs, and not only in the churches, but at home. And then I began to sing in a children's choir, and then in a church choir, and even at school, we sang these songs in Christmas time. So they have become so natural to me, although I don't remember always the words, and that's why I have to look and read the words, because it's such a long time ago, but it has become part of my identity. And when you sing it as a child, you sing it in a certain way. Then when you sing it in a choir, you sing it in a different way. And then when you study singing, maybe there comes a time where you try to sing it in such a way, then they lose their innocence. No? When I sing, still, still, you know, maybe for opera it's the right thing, but not for this. I have exaggerated. I wouldn't sing even opera in this way. But when you come back then, when you have studied your voice, and I have explored my voice and the resonance bodies, and I know how to open them and what to use. It was a long journey, but I have learned it. And then it comes out, people say, oh, it sounds so natural. And this is the naturality which comes after, when you have studied.
So, you know, I want to ask you, Heidi, because as I said in I think on our last conversation, one of our last conversations, every pianist is secretly jealous of singers. So, you know, because your body is the instrument, and here a pianist relies on an instrument that is external to themselves. And although it's a grand instrument, the grand piano.
A grand piano, he or she cannot take it around.
Yeah, well, that's true. So, I mean, that's why I'm curious. I wanted to ask you, when you were saying this about your experience of singing, what is it like for the chamber of vibration, that your body is the resonant chamber? What is the experience of that as you're singing? I'm curious. Can you describe it?
Yeah, I can describe it. First of all, I wanted to say, when people sing, they often are not at all aware of that. They sing actively, they try to sing it, do it right, and so on, and they are outside of themselves.
Right.
No? And so the vibrations which happen all the time, they are not even very aware of them. This is the normal way, and even normal singing teaching is not teaching you that. It's not making you aware of what is going on in your body. While my way of teaching, I call it integral voice training, is taking in account your insights. So we get a better sound by being aware of the vibrations and trying to have more vibrations in more places in your body, and find out how you need to feel, or what you can do to have vibrations in certain parts of your body increase or less or whatever. So you can, when you do this study, you can really feel, I now can feel the vibration up to my feet, you know, and it's a little bit of this. But you can also feel vibration also when you speak, you know. By, for instance, this is more obvious, the most obvious part of vibrations, or even here or here. When you touch your body from the outside, you can feel it. And then it is a question of getting aware that you can feel it while you speak or while you sing. And that's exactly where I base my teaching on, not on singing boom like this, but hear it. And I see that you are doing it while you are playing. You are hearing the sound and feeling the sound in your body. It will be different because you feel the piano in your body, and this is a little bit distant from you. You have only contact with the fingers, but you have contact, and the air is also bringing to you the vibrations. Why the voice is so much privileged because we can feel directly everything in our body. And by the way, when you get aware of these things, a whole lot of other things happen. I would call it you are growing up in many ways, because you get to know yourself. Yeah.
Can you give
So
an example of that?
No, for me, it's just for me, it is a spiritual way, a spiritual path to learn to sing in that way, not in the other way. In the other way, it's only doing some music, you know. But in this way, it's getting to know yourself, getting to know yourself as a vibrational object in the bigger whole. For instance, when you sing with or play with somebody else, you feel the contact and you create a wee space, which is so much easier when you are in this receptive mode. You are receptive for yourself and for the other person. So when we play a duet, which we unfortunately cannot do today, we would be sort of embracing our auras, or whatever you want to call it. The vibrational field around us would be together and merge into something harmonic. You know, instead, when you don't have the full range of vibrations in your body, but only a part, then it's only partly coming out. So it cannot really mix. And you can hear it with voices. When the voices are sort of squeaky, how do you say? A little bit, something like this. I mean, this is, some people, some popular music is using this voice. And if you use it intentionally, it's fine. But if the voice comes out in such a way, you know, or in such, with this voice, when you use it in this way, there is very little inner vibration, because you are pushing it out into the outside world. So it's sort of not taking into account yourself as an instrument, you know.
No, I think it's very important what you're talking about, Heidi, because and I think this is why our conversation actually is quite significant, because when I sit at the piano, and if I'm going into a concert or any place where I'm going to play for people, or let's say I'm going to do a recording, sometimes people will write to me and I'll do a special recording for them, say for somebody who's not well, or, you know, somebody I offer to do custom created CDs for people and pieces for people. So they'll hire me to do that, and then they'll tell me all about this person that they want me to create the music for, or the situation, or maybe for their own lives, like it's at their 90th birthday and they've given me all the songs of their life. So here I am sitting in my living room, where you just see here, creating, you know, sitting down and going, okay, so this person has just commissioned me to perform and record a piece of music for them. And there's something enormously humbling and compelling about that, because I don't necessarily know what's going to come out. And I feel in a certain way that this whole thing that I started to do about a year ago has actually put me even more deeply in touch with what you're talking about, for example. Because when I sit down, I allow myself to go into this deep state of prayer and of receptivity. So that was a word that you used, you know, this receptive, okay, so what's actually going to come through? What's the music that's ready there, that's waiting to be expressed on behalf of this person, you know? And I just wrote a piece of music, or just recorded a piece of music for somebody who's at the end of their life, you know, who was a minister and is struggling, and you know, this happens all the time now. So because it's so obviously a service to people, it's making it even more incumbent upon me to actually come from that place, that deep place of receptivity, in order to play.
Yeah, this is wonderfully said, because when we are in this place, we can, let's say, transmit the healing power of music. And music has healing powers. We know that from ancient times. Only when you do it like ta-dam, 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 I don't know. It's more like pushing yourself up and getting into aggressivity. Many arts types of music today are used in this way, to getting you out of yourself. But it's not the fault of the music. It's the fault of how it is done and, how it is performed. As we said, the same music can be performed in different ways, in receptive ways. Every genre, also the very modern music, it must not be in this way. But it is an expression of the need of the person who is interpreting it, or what they are, what their audience is, what they want to transmit. And as you said, if you want to heal somebody, we cannot heal somebody, but help to give them some healing energies, then we need to be in this receptive state, which I believe that the great composers were when they received their music.
Yeah, it is really like prayer, isn't it, Heidi? It's when you talk to God, or you talk to that which is ineffable and is out there, and you just allow yourself to be at the service of something which you don't even know what it is that's going to come through. Yeah. That's when the music begins to sort of shine in a way. When I go into a concert, I usually don't know what it is exactly that I'm going to play. I have a little bit of an idea, but I'll put my hand on the keys, and I'll just savor the sound that's coming through. Let's say I go down into the bass and I hear that low chord, and I just simply sit with that low chord and allow the chord and the vibration to begin to emanate out. And I feel very blessed to be able to do that. I don't know if it's easier actually to do that as a pianist than a singer. Probably not, both could, but I can allow the music to fill the space that gives me the opportunity to, so I don't have to go into anything specific. It's true improvisation. And then I begin to, feel the love of the sound that I'm just creating to guide me into what happens next.
That's wonderfully expressed. You're a pianist. In this case, we singers are very envious on you, because you can create the whole music, accompaniment and melodies. We have only one voice. And when we can do overtone singing, so we have maybe two, but it's not really two voices, So we always feel a little bit alone when we sing. It's just, it's not long that I dare to sing alone a song. I always said, I need a pianist. I need somebody who is accompanying me, because I felt naked.
Right.
And I would like to sing another one. It's called Silent, Be Silent, Silent, because the little child wants to sleep. Maria sings for it, the power of singing. Mothers sing for their children, and they have a little bit given up to sing, the modern mothers, but it's really so important for children to hear this music. And I would encourage everybody who hears it, who has little children or little grandchildren, sing to them, whatever. It must not be right. It must not be right at all. Just sing what comes out of your heart, like Jessica described it, to begin, and then see where you come out. If you find words is good. If not, make la 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 la, something like this, And it's the child will really have a big increase in well-being when you do it in this way. When you do it in this way, da 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 da, but probably not. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I will sing you this little song. Still, 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 Weißkindlein schlafen will. I have to begin again because I got a wrong key. Oh, I don't get it now. Let me take another one. Zu Bethlehem geboren ist uns ein Kinderlein, das hab ich auserkoren, sein eigenwillig sein. Ah ja, sein eigenwillig sein. Sometimes I have to compose. Let me see if I come back to that. You know, this is another thing. When you sing from music, sometimes it's good when you have a piano to get your sound, the right sound,
true.
because then you have to figure that out.
Yes. But still, it was still beautiful.
Still, 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 weiß Kindlein schlafen will. Maria tut es niedersingen, ihre keusche Brust da bringen. Still, 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 weiß Kindlein schlafen will.
That's a beautiful song. I've heard that before. I don't know if it's because you sang it, Heidi.
I don't know. It is from the 1800s, so it's very old. So it's traditional music. It's very, and you have German roots, so you might have heard it before.
Is it a Christmas? It's a Christmas song?
Yes.
So it's like still, right? Is it singing to Mary?
Yes. Mary is. It is describing Mary, who is singing for her child.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
And we need to be silent because the child wants to sleep. So this is a sort of a request, but a very sweet request.
But how human that is, you see? I mean, that song just is, the song is so beautifully human. It's not about something happening 2,000 years ago, you know, that it's just beautiful. It's like you're singing just like Mary would sing. So you're like Mary singing.
Absolutely, because this is not that you need educated voice. I mean, with educated voice, it can sound a little bit better, let's say, but it's not really necessary. These are, do you say folk songs? Traditional songs, which are sung by everybody, if they can sing or not. I mean, it might not sound so nice, but the experience of singing it, this is the main thing.
But I just love, Heidi, you know, once again, I just love the fact that this is like Mary singing to her child, and there you are singing those words. You see, so you're not singing about something, you're actually singing the thing itself, the lullaby itself, to the child, you know, in this case, Jesus being the child, right? And the sense of that immediacy to me is absolutely the most wonderful, wonderful thing. On Christmas, I went down to New York City to spend time with the woman about whom I wrote my book, In Duet with God, and she's now in her 80s. And she's the most beautiful person that I know. She's Spanish speaking, and she loves to go to the Spanish masses, okay, on Christmas. She's Catholic. She loves to go to the Spanish masses because there's something so much more. She finds that she can understand the words for one thing. But what reminded me about your little song is that when we were there on Christmas, the priest, who was Spanish speaking, Latino, called on, he said, in the whole congregation, he said, does anybody have their birthday today too, December 25th? So 3 or 4 people came up of varying ages. So they came up to the front of the church and they were all standing there, and he has this gorgeous voice, you know, and he begins to sing in Spanish, happy birthday to you and happy birthday to Jesus at the same time. And he's singing to the people and to Jesus, and it is all like one thing. And there they are, these people who actually have their birthday on December 25th. And it's so alive and real and tangible. So your song reminded me of that. It's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and we come back to our title, The Wonder.
Yeah.
When you see these ceremonies and this singing in the big churches, you must not be religious, but you can get something of this magic, of this wonder, which the music can create. Also the words, but the music is, let's say, more global, more directly to be understood. Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful song that you chose, Heidi. I mean, both because it's this time of year, but again, I think it encapsulates, I think it expresses everything that we're talking about in this dialogue.
There is the innocence in this song.
Yeah, there is. It is. Can you translate the words?
Silent, silent, because the child wants to sleep. Maria sings for the child and gives him her breast. Still silent, silent, because the child wants to sleep.
Wow. Beautiful. That is beautiful. Well, we will have to, we will keep going until the technical part of this makes it possible for me to play and for you to sing that. Maybe by next Christmas,
Would be wonderful. At this point, I want to thank everybody who has watched us and who will watch us in the future, and want to say that in about 20 minutes we will meet on Blab. And if you have, I will put the address in the event page. Otherwise, you go to blab.im and find the ad, and then Traviata with a big T, Traviata 56. Traviata, you probably know, or maybe you don't, is one of the heroines of the Verdi opera, which I very much liked to sing.
Yes.
So come over and sing with us. You can sing whatever you want. You don't have to be a professional singer. Just express your wonder and your innocence into the world. Give your vibration, your good vibrations into the world, so that we can create a better world in this way. So, and Jessica, thank you very, very much. Oh, there was another thing I wanted to say. There is up here a link, bit.ly/big W and a big F and then a hyphen and then 3. And this is the sign-up link for our upcoming series about relationships, intimate relationships, but also relationships in the work and on social media and wherever in the world. So we have 14 experts who will have a conversation with us, and please sign up for it. It is free, but we wanted this time to use Webinar Jam because, as probably you know, Google is in a moment of transition and we don't know how that will work out, and so we are sure that we can do that. It will begin on 15th of January and go into April, every Friday at 7 o'clock our time. This is Central Europe. And this is 10 a.m. Pacific time. And your time, I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern time?
Right now it's 10, yeah.
So, okay. So join us there, sign up, and you will get reminders. So you don't have to take care for anything. As soon as you have signed up, you will get a reminder 2 days before, and then the same day, and the last minute. And then there comes a little bit in Christmas gift. If you have some money left for Christmas, we have a Patreon campaign, and if you want to help us with our work in the Wisdom Factory, please sign up for be our patron, and the link is www.patreon.com and then my name, Heidi, Heidi, and then 63. And this is the open secret that I'm 63 years old. Okay, thank you very much. And come over to Blab and sing with us. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to speak with you.
Bye-bye.